Well, the cost of a Sunday roast or your steak for the barbie is going up.
Do you reckon they know what they're missing out on?
Prices of beef and lamb are rising by as much as 25%.
They wouldn't have a clue by the look of them.
Well, it's not the first time we've been warned about too much red meat being a health danger, but now news...
For those who are out there attacking our farmers.
Australians are tipped to spend $3 billion on plant-based meat within a decade.
As close to 150 vegan activists stormed his property.
There are calls from the McGowan government to fast-track its...
It's acceptable to protest in the public space. This is in the public space.
Australia is one of the biggest meat-consuming countries in the world. The Australian meat industry feeds 23 million citizens, supplies more than 400,000 jobs, and generates $14 billion in export revenue. While meat was traditionally perceived as a sign of wealth, it is now a symbol of celebration and unity among some Australians. Jim Basilio and his daughter Natalie Basilio are meat lovers. Jim grew up in Madeira, an island of Portugal, whereas his daughter Natalie was born and raised in Perth, Australia. Jim and his family are hosting another one of their traditional family barbecues.
Back in Madeira Island, there's months you go through with festivals. And believe me, every festival there is meat on skewers. They use the skewers, they use the bay leaf sticks, because when they grow, they sort of grow straight, so they cut them and then put the meat on, and that's how you do the Portuguese skewers, with garlic and salt. Beautiful. I'm getting hungry already just talking about it, but it is good. Meat is nice.
In the late 1970s, however, there was a significant shift in consumer demands from meat products to plant-based alternatives. This was due to concerns over animal welfare, the environment, and human health, which would pave the way for the vegan movement in the 2000s. Perth resident Dee Dee Lovering has an opposing vision to the Basilios. She is a vegan and an animal welfare activist.
In the early 80s, and the sheep were being loaded up, and so there were 2 loading ramps, and we blocked the loading of both of them to get media attention of the issue of live animal exports.
Her experiences as an animal activist has heavily influenced her decision to become vegan. Her diet heavily consists of fruit and vegetables, nuts, legumes, and soy products.
We were told that we needed to eat meat to be healthy, and then we were told that if you were a real man, you needed to eat meat. Actually, if you want to be macho, if you want to be a real man, if you want to look good, smell good, and perform well, then also you shouldn't eat animal products. You, younger people, are going to look back in horror at what we did to animals and have done to animals in the name of food.
Vegans, I respect for them, because I feel they probably brought up not eating meat. Like, if they used to eat meat and then they gave up meat to become vegans, I think that's stupid, a bit silly. I'm a kind of guy that I believe if someone's killing an animal just for the fun of it, that's a crime. But if you're killing to eat, it's normal. But now someone's stopping, trying to say don't kill the animals. But as long as they don't approach you, approach me, or say don't eat meat, pressure you, or come to me and say don't, why are you eating meat and this and that, then that's a stupid thing to do. You know what I mean? No one should do that to anybody.
There's 2 scenarios. Either they really have no idea about anything because there's nothing going on in their heads, or they know and they feel rotten about it. Today I get a bit of if I see somebody eating meat, because I think, you're still doing that. I imagine it would be, if we think back to when slavery was legal and it was on its way out, and more progressive people saw someone with a slave and they'd think, oh God, are you still doing that?
Why do you think veganism is necessary in this day and age?
Because there's going to be nothing left if we don't stop eating animals. Nothing left.
I think that's kind of dumb. I think that's like the worst way ever to like that's stupid activism. It's not even activism, like being like, don't buy meat, like it's already dead. It's there. Someone's going to buy it anyway. There's literally like 0 point to like trying to stop that. I don't think it's really, no.
Our last participant is one of the many younger Australians who are combining both sides of the spectrum to create a middle ground between veganism and meat consumption. Savannah is a screen production student at Murdoch University, and she lives with her long-term partner Jimmy. She's also a vegetarian and a human rights activist.
I never actually liked eating meat. My parents would always make me, I think we had meat like every day probably, but I kind of just ate it because it was there kind of thing. I never really enjoyed eating meat. So I think when I chose vegetarian it was like a lot easier because I didn't actually like eating meat anyway.
Although she grew up as a meat eater, Savannah decided to become a vegetarian at the age of 17.
I think there is benefits to not eating like meat or dairy because I'm also lactose intolerant, so I don't eat dairy either. No, it's been good. I think also I do have like iron deficiency, but it's unrelated to me not eating meat, so I might start eating fish again because of that. I think if you don't want to eat meat, then you shouldn't have to. I don't think it's like a thing that everyone should have to do. I don't think it's going to do anything drastic in terms of like saving the environment, saving animals or whatever. You have to drastically restructure how we eat and how like our economy is structured to make any sort of substantial change to that. It just doesn't matter at the end of the day, does it? It's your own personal choice if you want to eat meat or not. And I think to make it some sort of like culture war is a bit like over the top and like dramatic because there's more important shit going on at the moment in Australia. Like the fucking refugee crisis is ridiculous at the moment. You know what I mean? And then to be like, oh, fucking meat eaters and vegans, it's terrible. Like it's not even an issue. I think to like focus on that is just to derail other stuff.
There is no definitive answer as to whether Australia will ever become a meatless country, as meat is too far ingrained within our society. All we can say is that change is happening, and it's not likely to stop anytime soon.
Last night we had spuds and veggie burgers and corn on the cob.
I don't know, like pasta bake, chocolate. I really like chocolate.
Meat's always good. Why she doesn't?
Perhaps, in the meantime, both sides can learn something from one another and try to find a common ground.